Hey guys, this is Bharadwaj with Phone Arena, and this is the video review of the Intex Aqua i5, the latest flagship smartphone from Intex with a quad-core processor and a 5-inch display. The 5-inch display has a resolution of 960 by 540 pixels at 220 pixel density. The IPS display is based on one glass solution technology that reduces the phone's thickness by reducing the air gap between the touch sensor, the display, and the cover glass. The display is bright and has great viewing angles, but since it is glossy, it is a fingerprint magnet. There is an earpiece above the display along with the 2 megapixel front-facing camera, and the proximity and the ambient light sensors are present next to it. Below the display there are capacitive touch buttons for back, home and menu buttons. These light up but don't offer haptic feedback when pressed. There is a tiny microphone hole on the rim. Over at the top there is a 3.5mm audio jack and a micro USB slot. On the right side there is a power button, and since the power button is too small, it is hard to unlock the phone quickly. The phone is just 8.8mm thick and weighs 155 grams and has a chrome rim running on the sides. The back has shiny plastic cover which makes the device pretty slippery, and there is a speaker grill on the bottom. Over at the back there is a 12 megapixel camera too, and you can see the hump on the camera due to the presence of a large sensor. The LED flash is present next to the camera, and there is a Intex Aqua i5 branding below it. The camera is quite different from the stock interface, with the navigation bar on the left pane that lets you change the different camera modes. So in terms of performance, the images were pretty good, but low light shots are very grainy. The continuous shot option lets you shoot 4, 8 or 16 shots at once. Even though the phone has a 12 megapixel camera, it records videos at a maximum resolution of 720p since it is powered by a quad-core MediaTek 6589M processor. The electronic image stabilization uses software enhancements to minimize blurring and device shake. The video quality is pretty decent, and since the phone lacks a secondary microphone, the audio is not crisp. When you open the plastic back cover, you can view the large 2000 mAh battery, SIM card and SD card slots. The SIM 1 and SIM 2 slots are placed below the camera, and there is a micro SD card slot in between them that lets you expand the memory up to 32 GB. The SIM 1 is a normal slot, while the SIM 2 accepts a micro SIM card. Coming to the software part, the phone runs on Android 4.2.1 Jelly Bean, so you get a lot of features such as lock screen widgets, quick settings, photo filters and lots more that are not available in the Android 4.1. In addition to the rich notifications, you have quick settings. Apart from the brightness, Wi-Fi, airplane mode and Bluetooth in the stock Android, you also get controls for data connection, data usage, auto profiles and more. Instead of a black background, Intex has used a grey background for the status bar and the notification settings. Unlike the lock screen in other phones from local OEMs running on Android 4.2, this has the Android 4.1 lock screen that lets you launch Google Now just by swiping up from the lock screen. You can also launch the camera quickly from the lock screen by swiping to the left. The lock screen on the other hand lets you add widgets, and you can swipe to the right to launch the camera right from the lock screen apart from the shortcut. Out of 4 GB of internal storage, you get 1.58 GB of user available memory. And out of 1 GB of RAM, you get 975 MB of usable RAM, and about 600 MB of RAM is free when the phone is idle. You can also set default write disk and move the apps to the SD card, which is a pretty useful feature in a low-end phone. The phone comes with quite a few pre-installed apps such as Calculator, File Manager, Notebook, Sound Recorder and To Do. It also has all the usual Google apps. Other than these, you also get pre-installed apps such as Adobe Reader, Documents to Go to view and edit Office files, and plenty of other useful third-party pre-installed apps. It also has a couple of games such as Carom 3D and Chess. Coming to the default apps, the music player is completely stock and lets you play several audio formats. You can enable the equalizer from the settings and use bass boost and 3D effect features when you are listening using earphones. The phone has FM radio too with auto-tune and recording, but it misses the RDS support. Audio from the loudspeaker could be better, and the in-ear earphones are decent. It can play 720p HD videos using the inbuilt video player, but this is again a limitation due to the processor. The SIM management option is a common feature in the dual SIM phones these days, and that lets you configure both the SIM cards for several options such as voice, SMS and even data. The connectivity features include 3G, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.0 with A2DP and GPS. It has also support for the wireless display standard that comes inbuilt with 4.2. You can share content from the phone to a HDTV by connecting a wireless display adapter to a HDMI enabled TV. The phone is powered by a 1.2 GHz quad-core MediaTek MT6589M processor with PowerVR SGX 544MP2 as the GPU. The performance and the graphics were good, and we tested some high-end games on the device which did not lag. The 2000 mAh lithium polymer battery offers 1 day of battery backup, similar to the most of the 5-inch smartphones in the market. If you are a heavy user, it will last less than a day, of course. The phone also has CPU power saving mode in the battery settings that limits the CPU usage to conserve battery life and lower the temperature of the device. Overall, the Intex Aqua i5 is a good smartphone when compared to other smartphones in the similar price range. It has a good display, a decent camera, and is powered by a quad-core processor, and also runs on the latest Android 4.2 Jelly Bean OS. At a price tag of Rs 11,690, it goes head-to-head with the Carbon Titanium S5 that lies in the similar price range. You also get a free flip cover, and if you're looking for a smartphone with a good display, latest Android and quad-core processor, go for it. Listed here are the pros and cons of the device. And that's about it for the Intex Aqua i5 review. Do hit the like button if you like this video, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel for more video reviews like these. Thanks for watching.